Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance video. So I have a fragrance list for you guys today. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 awesome niche fragrances from my collection. And as you guys know, I pretty much focus on designer classics, vintage, that type of stuff. I don't own a lot of niche fragrances. I'm not big into niche. I think a lot of times it just goes over the top with the cost and the presentation. But the ones that I do have, I really like. So I'm gonna give you guys 10 from my collection, 10 that I really like. I'm missing two niche fragrances that are in my collection I did not include in this list because I sort of talked about them more recently, and these I haven't in a while, or at least some of them I haven't at all. So anyway, before we jump into the list, if it's your first time here, you guys know the drill. Make sure to subscribe to support the channel. Check out the Instagram page, it's Scents of South Jersey. Check out the TikTok page, give those both a follow. And if you're interested, of course, in buying rare, discontinued, vintage, or fragrances in general directly from my collection, make sure to check out my Mercari page. I'll put the link in the description below. You can go directly there, see what I have listed for sale, make an offer, purchase something. And again, these are things from my collection that I'm just not wearing, and I'd rather have somebody else enjoy it than it just sit around collecting dust in my collection too. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into this list of 10 awesome niche fragrances. All right, I wanted to get this one out of the way first. Not that it's bad, in fact, it's incredible. It's an amazing fragrance. It's the fragrance that kicked off my fragrance journey, I believe, and it is the OG of citrus aromatics. This is Colonia by Acqua di Parma 2. It's just one of probably the easiest scents to like. The opening is amazing. It's one of the best openings I've ever smelled in a fragrance, especially in a citrus aromatic. You know, when you smell the fragrance, it's just this citrus, the musk, barbershop style. I really like it. And Acqua di Parma is an Italian house. Again, 1916 is when this was initially created, and then it was relaunched at some point, and obviously that's what this is. That's what I've always had and always tried. But it smells so clean, classy, fresh. It's masculine. And I love that they carry any single Bodyline product you can think of, going beyond Bodyline and even other things like candles, room scents, all for the same fragrance. It's just such an awesome scent, and one that if you haven't tried it, get your nose on it. Get at least a 50 ml bottle. The prices for this are not cheap, but they're definitely not over the top expensive, especially when it comes to the niche world. Acqua di Parma Colonia is an all-time favorite of mine. All right, sticking with the same house, this is the 2015 release, Acqua di Parma Colonia Club. So think the original, but what they did is they infused some green notes like mint and woodier notes like vetiver into the fragrance. It's almost a little bit sporty. It's got that country club feel. It's very classy, very masculine. I did a full review on this one. It's so nice, and when I got it, I really liked it. And I was wearing a lot in the wintertime. That's when I first picked it up, but I think it's potentially an all-year scent. Some of you may not agree, but I just think it's sharp enough, it's smooth enough with the mint in there, but it's got kind of a brisk feel to the fragrance. Really nice. I think of this. I think of an daily wear office. I also think, like I mentioned, country club, a little bit sporty, but it's very masculine and very high quality, and a really nice fragrance. They also do carry the Bodyline for this, so if you're into something like an aftershave or a deodorant or a shower gel, the shower gel for this and the original smells so good. But Acqua di Parma Colonia Club is definitely one. Now, I think this version is no longer made. They have a new one. I haven't tried it. The bottle looks different. I'm not sure if the scent is the same, but if you can get this one, they're still out there. Definitely do it. It's really nice, especially if you like a mint fresh green scent. Okay, let's switch over to another house, the House of Houbigant. This one, and this may be predictable for some of you who've been following the channel for a while, Duc de Vervins L'Extrême by Houbigant. I love the bottle. I love the green and gold. It's just like Polo, very classy, very affluent looking, very masculine fragrance. It's like the niche Drakkar Noir, this one and the original Duc de Vervins. The difference is this is just rougher, a little bit thicker, heavier on the oak moss. Very green, very rough scent, rugged, and when it dries down, it's such an amazing soapy fragrance. Like I mentioned, the green, of course it's green. The niche Drakkar Noir. The pricing for this one has gone up, so if you see it and you're interested in stuff like that, definitely pick this one up. If you get the original, not the L'Extrême version, you can't go wrong either way. However, I think this one is the stronger of the two, but some people may not appreciate that as much, and just like I have both of them, but as you can see, I'm getting pretty low here. But this stuff is awesome. It smells great. If you're into that aromatic fougere, you like that classic Drakkar style, this one takes it to the next level and really just enhances the oak moss and the greenness. Very, very amazing scent. All right, next from the same house, this is the 2000 10 release from Houbigant. This is Fougere Royale. I really hate that this happens. That still irritates me, but nonetheless, the scent is a very classic aromatic fougere. They relaunched what their original fragrance was. I mean, you can smell it in the air. There's green notes, there's lavender, there's oak moss, but the added note of the chamomile really adds like almost like a tea smell into the green notes, into the lavender. And I think what that does is it really smooths it out. It's very classy, it's mature, it's definitely masculine fragrance. Price point for this is a little bit more on the high end. You're looking at $210. I was able to get this for half of that on Fragrance X a couple weeks ago. I have a recent full review on that, on this one, excuse me, so you can check that out if you'd like to go more into detail with this one. But just an all-around, really well-rounded fougere fragrance. Really enjoy it, very nice. Not the best in my opinion, that's Gucci Nobile, but it's still really awesome, and you should definitely check it out. Like, think different from Duc de Vervant. That's way more rugged and more rough, more 80s. This is just all around more of a classic, classier, like I said, smoother, well-rounded fragrance. Okay, so this is a newer fragrance in my collection. It is a niche fragrance. It's also from the same house, Houbigant, and this is Cologne Intense. So this is a 2015 release. Let's just spray some of this in there. Look, the same thing happened again. Okay, look, that comes off now, but if you put the cap back on and you take it, it's, I don't know. They need to up their presentation because they charge a lot. So, you know, that's unacceptable. Either way, let's not spend any time on that. Let's spray some of this in the air. This scent here, this one reminds me of two things. Acqua di Parma's Colonia Intensa, that dark citrus spiced orange, and then the incense note in this, which I think is done really well, reminds me of Acqua di Gio's Profumo, which I also have recently got that, been wearing it. Haven't done a full review on that, want to do a full review along with this one. But those two combined in a high quality formula like this smell awesome. Again, I haven't had it for that long. Haven't worn it more so than just to try it around since I've got it, but I wanted to talk about it because it comes off as very strong, but that citrus, dark citrus and incense smells so good, and I'm really happy with this one. I may like this. I may turn out to like this more than Fougere Royale, but we'll have to see. Okay, on to the next one. This is fragrance number 6 on the list. New house. This is the house of Floris of London. This is Elite by Floris of London. Now, I recently did a full review on this one as well. This stuff, it's classified as a woody aromatic, but to me, it's a combination, a niche combination, niche quality combination from a niche house of one of my favorites are, you know, classic designer scents from the 80s powerhouse. It reminds me of Polo, it's 78 obviously, and then Koros, the early 80s. So it has that rough greenness to it, but it also has that, you know, soapy, clean muskiness that Koros has. Very well blended together, pretty decent performance for what it is. Not, you know, beast mode or anything, but it's good enough. But the scent is so nice, and I was, you know, thinking to myself, this is maybe one of the best of the house. I've only tried one other one as of recently, but again, I still have the feeling that a lot of times, you know, these houses, a lot of niche houses, they maybe have maybe one or two amazing scents, and for Floris, this might be the one. Again, I'm only speculating, but this stuff smells amazing. If you like those two fragrances that I mentioned, but you want it all kind of blended together in a classy scent, this is the stuff right here, Floris Elite. Okay, fragrance number 7 from the same house, Floris of London. This is number 89. So this is from 1951. It's classified as a woody aromatic. I could see this one being more polarizing than Elite. I think Elite, if you like the type of fragrances that I enjoy, you're gonna like that one. I read the description, I knew I was gonna like it. This, however, is more along the lines of Acqua di Parma, Colonia, but it smells more old-fashioned than that to me, and it's because it's kind of like a lemon, lavender, and talcum powder, but it is sort of powdery. It's got that barbershop vibe. Some people may think that, it kind of smells maybe old-fashioned, old lady. I don't get that. I mean, I can understand it because of the talcum powder, but I think it's a good, and especially in the heat, this stuff rocked. I loved it in the heat. I think, you know, that's pretty much when I would wear it is the warmer seasons, because of the heavy powderiness to it, but that lemon scent in there is very nice. Definitely an old school barbershop. You have to kind of like that to be on board with this one, because it is different from Elite, but it is still a high quality niche fragrance and I really enjoy it. All right, fragrance number 8. This is from the niche or independent house of Rogue Perfumery. I'm sure you guys can get this. This is Bon Monsieur. So this is, as I mentioned before with Duc de Revant, that being the niche version of Drakkar Noir. This is the nichier version. No, I'm just kidding, but it's a throwback fragrance for sure. This came out in 2019 or 20 or something like that, relatively recent. It's classified as a citrus fragrance, but it's an aromatic fougere to the core. It's got that green oak moss, that fresh kind of, that you see your Drakkar, the deodorant or shave foam, all infused together. It smells fantastic. It's definitely a throwback fragrance, definitely very 80s, very masculine, and they use real oak moss with this. I love this stuff. To me, this is like a relaunch of Gucci Nobile. So if you have not tried that or you see it, and I know the prices are astronomical, definitely give this one a shot. It's the closest you're gonna get. A little danker, a little bit more maybe thicker, and that may be just due to the ingredients inside. I'm not sure, but it's an awesome alternative, and you're as close as you're going to get, and it's a fantastic fragrance. I think this is the biggest bottle, 75 ml. So it's not, it's not going to get it for cheap. I think this is around $100, maybe a little bit more, 150, but it's worth it if you love that type of fougere fragrance. It smells so good, so classy. Okay, fragrance number 9 on this list from the niche house of Creed. This is the 1987 release, Bois de Portugal. This was, aside from Acqua di Parma's Colonia, the very first niche fragrance I ever got. And I remember when I smelled it, it was pretty incredible for me, it being one of the first really high-end scents that I had, because at that time it was just the cheapy classics that I've reviewed, which are still amazing, don't get me wrong. So like I mentioned, I remember when the first time I smelled it, it's such a perfect blend of the fresh bergamot, the lavender, and then it has the woody notes like cedar and vetiver with a little bit of ambergris. And what that does to me is, let's just put some of this in the air, is that it does enough sweetness from the ambergris with the woody notes and the other notes combined. It doesn't go overboard in either direction. It's like a perfect balance between those notes. It smells so clean, so airy. It smells beautiful in the air. That's where I think it's the best. To me, with this, less is more because it is thick. I think it's a heavier fragrance. So I like this at the end of summer, more so in the fall. But Trees of Portugal, it gives a really nice image, and it's an awesome fragrance. It's from Creed. Very well done. You should definitely check it out. Okay, fragrance number 10 and the final fragrance on this list. I had to include this one, the 2010 release from Creed. That's Aventus. I don't know what I can say about this fragrance that hasn't already been said. It pretty much turned the fragrance community and world upside down. It was a mega hit. And if you've never smelled it, you have to. I think everyone has or have smelled an imitation of it. And it's, the pineapple, the blackcurrant, the birch, those are the famous notes in it. This is a show-off scent. This is a scent that, you want to go out, you want to make a statement, you want to wear nice clothes, 50,000 gold chains, you want to wear Aventus with that. It smells so good. This is my 2019 batch. Look, I don't even have that much left because I spray the hell out of it when I wear it, and it smells good. And many people have recommended clones, or I've only ever tried one clone, and that's Club de Nuit Intense. Man, I think that's the most famous of the clones, and that's decent. But I have the real thing, and I probably would just get another of the real thing because it does smell so nice. And I don't wear it that often. I've had this now for several years, but I had to include it because it's so good. And I know it's overhyped or played out, and there's been a lot of other things that are close enough to it for much less money, but it is amazing, and you can't deny it, and that's why I wanted to include it in this list. And I wear it on special occasions now. I definitely am going to get a new bottle soon whenever I'm done with this one because it is one that you just can't not have. It's Acqua di Gio, just like that. That hit the men's cologne scene and blew up. So did this one. And, people will be talking about this one for a long time. All right, guys, that was my list of 10 niche fragrances that are awesome, and they're all from my collection. I'm sorry if my list was a little predictable. Again, I'm not super into niche, but these are the ones that I have that I think are great. Let me know in the comments section, what did you think of the list? Do you own any of these? Do you like them as much as I do? Are there any other niche fragrances that are in the style of fragrances that I like that I should try? Please let me know in the comments section. You guys know I always appreciate all the interaction. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow the Instagram page. Check out the Mercari link. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.